All right, morning everyone. It's like 27 degrees right now. We had a decent frost last night. Really the first one we've had of the year that's been worth anything. We've had a couple small ones, but not as good as this one. But I've got a whole bunch to do today because, well, I'm still behind. I got a bunch done last week that I didn't film, but today I've got to boil some syrup to make cream tonight. Work on getting that pump out line finished up today. Well, I won't get it finished, but I need to move the wire and get that hung up. But might as well get this going because it's going to be a long day. Are you going to help today? No? That's a no as always. That syrup's at like 54 degrees right now, so that'll take a couple minutes to get up to temperature. I do need to put the defoamer over here, so that'll warm up though, because that's solid right now. So we'll set that right there. That'll get warmed up because I'll need a little bit of that, but we'll let this go for a few minutes and start getting into the rest of today's project. First thing on today's project is I need to change this pump out wire. So the pump out wire comes up and it goes on a tie wrap and goes over to the sugar house. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and go into a lag on this tree and then run a second one over to the sugar house so that the majority of the weight on this whole thing is hanging off a lag. It's not hanging off of the sugar house over there for a tail hold. So get the drill, get the lag in, and then I'm going to reuse this wire and it should be good. Some tension off of that. It's going to make it easier to hang onto it up there and put that onto that tail hold. So go up there now. Wire puller that I'm going to use to grab onto this wire. I can slide down and then I can pull on it with a ratchet strap to get my tension to keep it up. So, take the tension onto the ratchet strap. Alright, now I'll do this. There. Now that's on. I just gotta go down and tighten it up. Oh boy, that got tight. All right, this is boiling and in good shape. It's at 222 right now, so we got to get to 234. So it's going to be a little while before this is ready. So I'm going to get some other stuff done. I'll just keep an eye on it, check on it every couple minutes. But now I've got to change that wire that runs from the sugar house over to that tree and put another lag in, which I got to grab. All right, get this off. There goes the wire. That's off the sugar house. And then this 1 inch has got to get changed to 1.5 inches to run over there. So I got to get this cut off. There. So I went high on this one, higher than this one, and it'll just have a little jump up just to give me a little bit more without having that be too crazy high down through there. Should work perfect. There, just a square knot there, and then I'll get that wire. Okay, that's it. That's not where it's caught. Right here. So there's a splice there, and I got caught on one of the posts. Let me see if I can get it down beyond that, because that's where really the main hang up is going to happen. There, I think it'll come now. Yeah, that didn't go bad. There's a couple of small kinks in it, but for a pump out line or whatever someone wants to use it for, it'll be perfect. Or just go in the trash. Now I'm going to try and pull that other one though, the new one. We'll see how that goes. it keeps popping off the spinner because I don't have someone there to tend it and cause a problem. Oh, perfect. It's got a kink in it now because it got caught. That's awesome. Oh boy, I almost fell. Where it's just a pump out line, it shouldn't be that bad, but I've got to do something to make sure it doesn't happen anymore because it will. Damn it. All right, I flipped them over. I think it's gonna work. I don't know, we'll find out. Probably gonna be a mess. Pipe is pulled up here. Pulling 1.5-inch pipe is less than awesome, that's for sure. It's up here. I don't have the 1.5-inch Chinese finger traps though, to the cable grips to pull on this and like hold it tight. So what I'm gonna do today is just get it up loose, just so that it's like, I think I've got it where it needs to be, and then I can go back in, because I'm gonna put one here, one on that tree, and then one down at the end. So I'm gonna have 3 on it total, which those things are not cheap, but I want to make sure I've got a good hold on this pipe. But for today, I'll just put it up loose with wire ties. Well, I already screwed up, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wire ties on, because when I was coming up, I didn't go around this tree. I went on the inside of it. So now I've got to unhook those to bring it back, to come around and go back to there. Awesome. To kind of show what I'm up against here, or well, was up against, that's all ice that was in that pump out line in this section, so it had a drop in it. So say the sap ran and I was at work and then it got cold, it would be froze up and I wouldn't be able to pump it out, and it was a pain. So the goal is to get more pitch. Now I already know I'm going to need a bunch of posts here because this 1.5 inches is heavy, and I don't want to pull on the sugar house too much, but there's enough of a belly there that, especially by the time you fill it up with sap, it would be too much. So I'll probably put 4 posts across here, probably 3 actually, to hold it up. That way it'll keep that slope and not have to lean on the building so hard. But this one's done. Now it's just run down that side. There, that's up for the most part. Posts up top, I know that for sure. I think I'll be good down on this lower part. It'll kind of be one of those that I'll know more once I fill it with sap and pumping it out. I'm going to try and get those kinks out, but I'm probably going to have to wait till I pull some tension on it to get it to straighten out a little bit. Then I can put a torch to it and kind of hopefully open it back up. But for now, they kind of are what they are, and it sucks. But the rest of this pipe I'm going to take and use it for pump out lines at the 2 small woods is my goal. So hopefully that'll work, but that remains to be seen. All right, we're in the next day now, and it's windy as hell right now. I've got a meeting that I've got to do with a website guy later, so it's kind of slowing my day down because I don't want to leave and come back. But I got to build drops. This year's color for drops is going to be gray, so I got the pre-cut 40-inch ones from Leader H2O. And I'm going to build them this morning because I've got a little bit of time and I need to get them done anyways. Plus it'll get the box out of the basement. But then I'm going to try and get in the woods and change out the other 2 pump out lines today is my goal. Just so that I can be done with that roll of 1.5 inches. But we'll see how we go. I think I got everything I need to change out these pump lines now. With my 2 small woods, I've got pump out lines. This one at the Blake Road Woods has got 120 taps, and it comes up, and I've got it run between 2 trees, and then I just coil the pipe up. Now I want to do this with the 1.5 inch pipe just because it'll be quicker to pump these tanks out. But I'm nervous about kinking the pipe like I did yesterday when I was setting up that one at home, just because it's a heavier pipe and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one down, I'm going to coil it up, bring it home with me, but then save it just in case this doesn't work. But I'm going to take and measure off the same amount of 1.5 inch pipe that I would use here, and then just see how it goes. But hopefully it'll work, but I'm just not sure yet. So I actually think this is going to work out okay. I went long on that side just so that I've got extra to work with after this stuff kind of like straightens itself out, because it goes right down to the pump. My goal is to be able to just hook direct into the pump with that 1.5-inch line, not have to have a short piece. But up here on this one, actually I think that it'll work okay to just go out and hook into the trailer. It's not too stiff when it's this long. I just got to come up with an elbow for the end so it hooks into the tank. But I think this will work pretty good and pump it a lot faster. I'm at the hill now, and it is windy today, but it is blowing a gale here. I looked at this, and I've been laying the pipe just on the ground here for the pump out line, and it goes from the tank down in the hole up and laid on the ground. But with this bigger pipe, I'd rather have it secured just because I think it's going to want to move more. So what I'm going to do is hook onto this big oak, and then it'll just kind of lay on the ground down beyond that, and then I'll run up, and there's another oak up there that I can hook onto, and then just have that piece lay on the ground. I think that's actually going to make it better doing it that way. So we'll get started. So I forgot my wrench that I use to run the ratchets, like the commercially made one. But the nice thing about having these ratchets with the nut on the side is you can just use an adjustable. I put one side tie on this, and just because I want to keep it off the ground, so it'll keep it up a little bit, I gotta pull a little bit more tension on that, and that'll really bring that thing into play. And then the top side and the bottom side will just loop on the ground, but everything else will be in the air. This is going to work right about perfect. This thing will come down, be able to hook direct into the pump with a discharge, go right up and right up. So it'll be out of the way and just easier. And I'm going to leave it rather than taking it down every year. It'll sit right here, and it's just one less thing. Plus I'll pump this tank quicker. So yeah, now it's time to go haul the kids to dance, because, well, that's what I do, even though it's, you know, early. But, oh well. See you guys in the next one. Today's election day. Remember to vote early, vote often. Millions depend on you.